Everyone, I'm back. Yes, we are finally back. We've settled into our new place and everything is going pretty well. I hope you enjoyed the couple of videos that I had lined up, and normal service will resume from pretty much now going forward. Next week we have the Summer Games Fest on Friday, and of course the Xbox Showcase. I'll have placeholders put out for those straight after this video, so make sure to check those out as well, and make sure to click on that reminder so you're notified as soon as I go live. But today we're going to be talking about other bits of news. One in particular is, of course, the Xbox handheld news, which is doing the rounds at the moment, with a lot of people kind of taking a backseat to it. But you know, there's been a lot of stuff happening over the last week. Not so much in the gaming world, but more drama wise. So I thought I'd just cover the basis of the news for this first video, get this one out, and we can start getting more content out every day. Alright, so this first one is pretty comical. It seems Microsoft's official Xbox Instagram account has been hacked to promote a fake Xbox token, and you can see Colt Eastwood down below. Leave it to hackers to provide a better deal. Never change Xbox, never change. And this is quite embarrassing. I mean, Microsoft hasn't had the best of PR lately, but this just continues to just go down the wrong way, and obviously people are going to be mocking this all the way through, always on Fridays. So yeah, if you've seen this, this is more of a FYI, heads up, don't believe it, it's not real. Their account has been hacked. So just to show that not even the mighty Microsoft is completely, you know, protected against being hacked. Of course, I hope they didn't name their password. But hey, who am I to judge? So on Steam and Xbox Live, I know this has actually been available multiple times now, but in case you missed them before, until the 1st of July, so grab it when you see this video, if you can. Tell Me Why is free in its complete form. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, you can get it on Steam or Xbox Live or both. Just go and claim it and it's yours. I played Life is Strange earlier this year and it was one of my favorite games. So I've definitely picked this up from before and it's on my playlist. So who knows, maybe you'll actually enjoy it and want to check it out. But it's free, so go grab it. Okay, so apparently, you know, Metaphor Gaming and Spray Paint Simulator are mid past brings mid again. We're talking about a game that almost got Game of the Year last year. We're talking about a game that everyone was calling one of the best released games. And man, you know, Aegis says it right here. Imagine calling Metaphor ReFantazio a mid-game just because of that. This is the problem. In fact, recently on Mooch's podcast, every single one of those people on that podcast, whether it's Mooch, whether it's Nibs, they all agreed and openly admitted that they've had Game Pass since 2016, 2017, regardless of whether they've bought it legit through Microsoft or through CD keys. The fact is, these same people who trash this actual service are actively using the said service. So, I don't know, man. If you're gonna be a hypocrite your whole entire life, then that's fine, but at least have some dignity within you, you know, some self-respect to not openly admit to enjoying the service you're actually trashing. It's crazy, right? They all openly trash Game Pass, talk bad about Game Pass, but then they go out and say, yeah, we've been subscribed to it for almost 10 years. Wait, what? So you're happily subscribed to it, enjoying the benefits of it, but think it's trash. Does someone want to let me know in the comment section below what they call those type of people? I don't know, it feels a bit weird. It feels a bit just kind of silly. Elden Ring is one that I'm going to touch on because no one's really talking about Night Rain. It's come out, my kids are playing it, they're really enjoying it, but the only problem they had is that there's no duos, and they noticed this very early on. In fact, they noticed this instantly because they wanted to play together, and they can't. They have to have a third person who generally goes and dies somewhere while they're doing their own thing, and my kid and his brother is, you know, doing their thing. So they came out and said, we're very sorry about that. They didn't really consider duos. I'm really not sure how you wouldn't consider duos, but they are now exploring adding it post-launch. And that's a good thing, because I think the game will actually benefit from this. I think a duo and a trio is definitely worth, you know, exploring, and it'll do well. Obviously, I'm not saying that trios are bad, but sometimes you just want to play with your friends, and if it's just a duo, it's great. But, you know, it is what it is, and hopefully they can fix this. Now, of course, we come to the main, you know, topic of the video. This is, of course, an exclusive by Jez Corden. Xbox's first-party handheld, the one that's supposed to run, well, supposedly supposed to run all, you know, Xbox games through the back catalog and whatnot, has been sidelined, he's saying, for now, as Microsoft prioritizes Windows 11 PC gaming handheld optimization. The Xbox Series X successor is full steam ahead though. Now here's the problem with this. Now we already know that the actual, you know, Asus one, which is having a Xbox theme on it with the Xbox button, is coming. Now clearly they are prioritizing those and trying to get Windows in a stable position in order to be able to push those and put the handheld gaming market with Windows in a much more stable position. There's no denying that Windows as a handheld has had an enormous amount of problems, especially with its usability. And the fact that none of these devices have trackpads makes it even worse, and with SteamOS now coming out in full force to work on other devices like the Asus ROG and Lenovo and so forth, it's trying to encroach in that, you know, in that market and trying to dominate it. And it probably will do. In fact, at this point, I actually think Microsoft's handheld is coming way too late. I think it's coming, you know, we first had that it was supposed to hear something about it by the end of last year, then a few years later, and then there was not rumblings about the handheld again resurfacing this year, and now it's been pushed aside. I honestly think that Microsoft doesn't actually know what they want to do with the handheld, and I think at this point they would be best just to, in my opinion, work on emulating those back catalog games through the OEM devices, or finding a way that you can get all of those games working via xCloud, via your Xbox, you know, Game Pass subscription, and streaming those 360 OG games directly to your handheld. I think that is the way, that should be their way forward right now. Because this handheld thing, by the time it comes out, Sony's going to have their handheld out. I reckon even Google will probably have a handheld out before Microsoft comes into the market. When the idea of the handheld came out, everyone was excited, but at this point, again, I feel like Microsoft just overcomplicates things and tries to do way too much, tries to be way too sophisticated and smart, and in the end, you know, they shoot themselves in the foot. And in my opinion, by the time this handheld comes, everyone's going to have a handheld PC, everyone's going to have their preferred device. The actual appeal for their own hardware is going to be so minimalistically small that it's just not going to be worth it. There are going to be people that buy it. I just don't think it's worth their R&D development, and I think they missed the boat. I'm not going to say that it's best for what they're doing, because I think they should have had that out now or by the end of this year, but that's not going to happen. And the fact that it's not going to happen, I think they should now just reprioritize entirely and try to get that back catalog of games, or your games from your Series S and X, working somehow on these Windows 11 devices, whether it's through virtualization or anything, or through the cloud. I really don't care, just one way or the other. But the bottom line is, I think they've kind of missed the boat. And yes, they say it's been sidelined for now, but it just doesn't bode well. But if they can actually get these working with the current, you know, Windows PCs, handhelds that are out there already, I think that would still be a pretty big win for them. And it would then enable everyone to just go and buy the brand that they prefer. Yes, everyone would like a Microsoft branded one, and maybe after all these ones are out, they'll release exactly the same hardware with a Microsoft branded one, shaped pretty much like this. When my son saw the picture of the handheld, he actually got really excited, because that's what he's looking for. An Xbox controller style handheld with a screen in the middle. And maybe Microsoft is going to do that and have a Windows 11 powered onto it, and then, you know, play the games the way I've actually said. Who knows? But I just feel like with this one, they've missed the boat. And even if they come back in 3-4 years later and say, hey, we've got a handheld, I mean, eventually I think that is going to be the next evolution anyway, where they're going to go handheld and everything's just going to be like the Switch. But, you know, I think the technology isn't there yet for them to fully realize what they want to do and make it a powerhouse like they actually want. But hey, it is what it is. And it's a bit of a downer, but at this point, I think they need to prioritize making sure Windows 11 is in a good place and making sure that when these handhelds either release with Windows 11 or 12 or are upgradable to the next generation of Windows, that whatever is coming is going to be very user-friendly. Because the bottom line is, when you put these machines on, you want to be greeted with your games first and foremost. You don't want to go straight to the Windows start screen. That is what is happening here. Whereas with a Steam OS, you go straight to your games and you instant access. That's what Microsoft needs to do. And I don't think it's difficult. I just think they're overcomplicating it, which is something Microsoft does love to do. But folks, that's the video. First video back. I just wanted to cover this because I think this was big news, and I'm seeing a lot of people actually, you know, jump on the bandwagon saying Microsoft is right for doing this. They should definitely focus on this. And again, it's just the same regurgitated. Microsoft says jump and the Xbox community says how high. Instead of actually asking the questions as to why they're doing this, what is the reasons for this, why are you going one way then the other, and acting like you know, and treating the whole thing as a yo-yo in essence. They're just going along with it, and I just wanted to at least get my opinion out there and say that I don't agree with it. But if they are going to sideline it, I think at this point, unless they're just going to release another Windows version of it later on once they've got Windows all set up, by the time it comes out, I think it's going to be too late. But hey, that's me. That's the video. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and again, we're talking about difficult topics that, you know, people don't really want to talk about, don't really want to kind of discuss, but I think it's interesting, and I think it's also we kind of just need to see it for what it is, because at the end of the day, the next Xbox console is coming, whether it's a fully fledged PC, a hybrid PC, or whatever it is. That is definitely coming, at least for the time being. And until they change their mind and say that that is also off the table, which I don't believe because of Game Pass, at least that's pretty much guaranteeing the next Xbox console, that's going to always be coming our way. But the handheld for the time being is off the table, and the Asus ROG Ally themed Xbox handheld is going to be the best you get. My advice is to actually get a virtual station working on that can actually play those older Xbox games, or just find a way through Xbox, you know, through xCloud, where you can actually stream those games digitally as part of your service to the actual handheld or to your Xbox. Simple as that. That way you've got the whole catalog. PlayStation do this with the PlayStation 3. I know they're working on ways to actually get it to play native, but it's an option that many people can have. Some won't have, but many people will have to be able to play those games that currently aren't supported. But anyway, that's the video, folks. We are back in action. We are back making videos, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Main Legend.